Space, the final frontier. This is the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. Its mission to explore the solar system, to seek out new observations and data, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. And now the host of the Observer's Notebook, Tim Robertson.
Hello and welcome to episode 116 of the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. I'm Tim Robertson, the host of the Observer's Notebook. Thanks for watching and listening. The Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers collects and analyzes observations of various solar system bodies and associated phenomenon, and publishes detailed reports concerning these bodies in its quarterly publication, the Journal of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. This podcast depends upon donations from you, our listeners and viewers, to keep it alive. If you enjoy what you see on the podcast, you can donate to it via Patreon. You can start off by giving as little as $1 a month. If you feel even more generous, for $5, you receive early access to the podcast before it goes public. For a monthly donation of $10, you receive a copy of the Novice Observer's Handbook. And for $35 a month, you receive producer credits on the podcast. You can help us out by going to www.patreon.com/observersnotebook. And if you'd like to join the ALPO, membership begins at only $22 a year. You can find out more at www.alpo-astronomy.org. And we're also on the Facebook. Just search for ALPO Astronomy. And this podcast also has a Facebook page as well. Just search for Observer's Notebook. And if you enjoy, please subscribe. That way you'll never miss another episode. Now episode 116 of the Observer's Notebook. Enjoy. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to this edition of the Observer's Notebook podcast. We have a very special guest today, Diana Hannikainen. She's an editor-in-chief of Sienkiewicz magazine. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, now, you are like the seventh editor-in-chief in, 84 years of the magazine?
I believe so. There
Yeah.
have not been too many.
That's crazy. So what brought you to Sienkiewicz?
Ooh, my path meandered a little bit. I'd like to start off by saying, before I was at Sky and Telescope, I was in research astronomy. I was in academia.
Okay.
And I ended up in research astronomy because my father was very interested in astronomy. He didn't study it per se. His background was first in chemistry and then political science. But he was a subscriber to Sky and Telescope magazine.
Oh, my.
So I was leafing through issues of the magazine, I think even before I could read.
Uh-huh.
And then he'd take me out at night and show me the constellations. There was a period, 2, 3 years we lived in Brazil, right in the center of the country, and we had access to incredibly dark skies. And so he'd take me out, and he'd show me the constellations, and it was exciting in those days when you spotted a satellite.
Oh, yeah. They were few and far between.
Few and far between. It was lots of fun. And so slowly my interest in astronomy developed, and throughout school I'd always loved physics and math, and I studied astronomy at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And then I'd reached a point where I was thinking, yeah, I'd like a change of pace, a change of career, do something different. In fact, after my undergraduate studies, which I'd done at the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, I really paused for a moment and wasn't sure which of two paths to take. One of them was science communication, one of them was research.
Okay.
And I chose research at the time. And when I felt that that had run its course, I revisited the other option, science communication. And I saw in 2017 that Sky and Telescope had an editor's position open, and I applied. And still today, I can't believe my luck that I was hired.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's like basically a little dream job for you then.
Totally, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, completely. Still pinching myself.
Yeah. Now, Scientoscope obviously had to evolve over the years from basically a print publication to now. What do you think its role is in the digital age?
I think we can do both. From what I understand, when I go to star parties, when I go to the Northeast
Hmm.
Astronomy Forum and I interact with our readers and subscribers, I know that very many of our loyal readers still enjoy receiving the print issue
Hmm.
for various reasons. But as you know, we put the print issue in digital and PDF format and digital format on
Right.
online, and people have the option also of having a digital only subscription. So that exists exactly as the magazine looks. That's what we have online. But in terms of other digital media, we have a website, a vibrant website where we post news stories and other observing breaking news stories and observing blogs. And I think that we get a fair amount of visitors there. And I would still like to envision a world where hard copy exists,
Yeah.
continues to exist, and but certainly not discounting our online digital presence. And we're expanding more into social media as well.
Good. Yeah, the Association of Lunar Planetary Observers, we publish a journal and it's both print and digital. And we've realized that over the years, the grayer the hair, the more print media we mail out. So they don't want the digital. They want they don't they
They
want
want
to
the print.
they
Exactly. I
want
know that journal well. It's a fantastic journal.
yeah. Well, thank you very much. We're very, very proud of it. So how has the readership changed over the years?
Well, you just used a key word, grayer. That's very true. It's grayer.
Yeah.
But when I go out to star parties and other community events, I'm seeing quite a lot of families bringing their
Oh, good.
younger kids, and I just like to highlight the Nebraska Star Party where I just was last week. It's a very family-oriented event, and there are many children, and they feature door prizes not just for adults but also children.
Great.
And I don't remember what the exact definition of child is. I think it might be, maybe it was under 12. Don't
Okay.
quote me on this, but um, they have door prizes for children. And the way these kids' faces light up when they are presented with a telescope or a star wheel or even a book,
Hmm.
Clayton Anderson, I think, is the Nebraska astronaut. And he's written several books for kids. And when they receive it, they're just so, they just skip back to their places after they've gone up to receive their door prize.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
I delight in seeing this interest. They might not yet be readers of Sky and Telescope, but their parents might be. And another thing that I have, first of all, I laud the Astronomical League that features the National Young Astronomer Award
Hmm.
or Youth Astronomer Award. And the Stellafane Convention has also started recognizing young astronomers. And so I'm really happy to see uh, concerted efforts in this direction. Again, whether they're subscribers or not, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that there are some college-aged and early 20s who are readers.
Yeah, our organization's currently struggling to get the youth involved in it because we've opened up a youth section, but how do we get that started and things like that? We're looking at the model that the AL has and things like that, and maybe work off that type of thing. But we're struggling and trying to get younger people in right now. It's tough.
I'd love to have a conversation with you about your youth section as well. Let's do that at some point.
All right, definitely will. I like that. Um, Now, what my first um, introduction to sky telescope, I think I was 11 years old,
Yeah.
and my neighbor was going to UCLA taking astrophysics, and I had a little 2.4 inch refractor, and one day he brought over a copy of sky telescope and said, "Here, read this," and I'm like, and what I liked is I evolved in my astronomy through the sky and telescope because what I've always enjoyed is the balance of the type of articles that Sky Telescope has. I mean, you've got stuff for novice observers, but you've also got seasoned astronomers in there as well. How do you balance that when you, as the editor, to make sure you have the right mix?
I think it has just evolved organically like that. As you know, the Sky and Telescope was the result of the merger of two magazines
Mhm.
that existed that were founded in the 1930s. One was called The Sky, the other called The Telescope. And one of the two was geared more to bringing astronomy science articles to the public at large, and the other one was more for the tinkerers and
Okay.
gearheads. And so when those two came together, I think naturally already at the time, there was this nice balance of popularizing astronomy, the science, the research that was going on,
Okay.
and yet keeping tabs on the latest equipment and the observing fads, let's say. And I ever since I started as observing editor in 2017, I found that the mix has just naturally remained like that.
Hmm.
There might be a few other avenues we could explore at some point, but I do enjoy the fact that we have columns from unaided eye observing, like Sky at a Glance, that just
Hmm.
highlights the events of the month that you don't need any equipment for, through Sun, Moon, and Planets, where, sometimes we might invoke binoculars, right through to the Going Deep
Yeah.
column, that department that appears once every 2 months now, and where people with the 30-inch, 32-inch Dobbs can lug them out and point them at exotic and arcane objects.
Fantastic. Now, how do you, I don't know if you're involved with this, but how do you decide on the cover for every month?
Oh, that's a very interesting process. That involves a very lively discussion among all the editors and
I'm
the art
sure.
team. And the process is driven largely by, I think, visual.
Okay.
What can make an interest, like an eye-catching cover, like what subject might make for an eye-catching cover? It depends also on what might be current.
Okay.
During Mars oppositions, we'll try and feature something about Mars, and same for Jupiter. And then we also really like working on conceptual covers
Okay.
and trying and having either our illustrators or external illustrators design the covers, and those are always lots of fun. And but it does involve monthly. Each month at the start of the cycle, we all get together, and it gets, like I said, very lively, but it's a lot of
I like
fun.
I like that word lively. That's I'm sure that describes it very well.
Yeah.
Now you've been with the magazine since 2017. Has there been a feature or an article or an issue during that time period or before that you're particularly proud of?
Wow, just about everyone has, if not one, several nuggets that are really precious in there.
Hmm.
But as an issue as a whole, we've done a few. There was the one for the 80th anniversary of the magazine
Okay.
in November 21, which I think came together beautifully with some look backs by current contributing editors and the state of astronomy now and where it might be going. But personally, there's an issue that just came out. Actually, it's this issue, this month's issue, the July issue of
Hmm.
this year, that we dedicated to largely to outreach
Oh,
and the importance of outreach. And we filled several of the sections with articles and on outreach and the community and citizen science. And the cover is also one that is fully illustrated by our illustrator. And so the thing as a whole, I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of how it all came together, how the team worked together to create this. And that is one thing I'm personally very passionate about, getting the word out,
hmm.
being involved with the community, being in touch with the community, sharing. our passion for astronomy with the community. And therefore, I think the July issue is one that I'm particularly proud of what we've done.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, outreach is important on everybody's mind right now too. It's
Isn't it?
yes. Um, okay, the astrophotography has gotten really affordable
Oh, yeah.
in the last year. I mean, with the sea star telescopes and things like that. How has that changed your content in the magazine?
I don't know if it has changed it significantly because there's still a large community of astrophotographers who are very embedded in their craft and very skilled,
Mm-hmm.
and they will continue to pursue their paths in uh, achieving their spectacular images. I think the sea stars and the other cohorts of these smart scopes, I think what they've done is opened up astronomy to legions of people who otherwise would not have access
Mm-hmm.
to astronomy. It's great. We just spoke about outreach. It's a great outreach tool.
Yes.
It's wonderful. You get one sea star out, have everybody connect to it with their phones, and they can see the marvels of the universe. So from that point, from the communication point of view, I think they are groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
From the astrophotography, I'm not the astrophotography expert.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one of our editors. But the way I'm seeing it for now, I think our astrophotographers, they're still dedicated to getting the
Yes.
best image out there.
Yeah. The hobby is moving so fast in technology right now. Are there trends in amateur astronomy that you've kind of honed in on, or keeping an eye on right now?
Besides the rise of the smart scopes, well, there's one thing that seems to be blossoming, and not just on our side, but in through other channels as well, and that is astronomical tourism. People are fascinated by like the eclipse last
Mm-hmm.
year, the annular almost 2 years ago, and the eclipse, the total last year, has generated a lot of interest
Mm-hmm.
in these more fleeting celestial events, let's say. And so we're finding, at least I'm detecting a lot of interest in like where can I go see the next eclipse? Where's the
Yeah.
next annular? Where's the next lunar? So I'm hearing a lot of that happening, but that's more the general public.
Yes.
To go back to your question about trends in amateur astronomy, I'm not sure that I've picked something out specifically.
Okay.
Are you seeing something at your end?
No, but I agree with the tourism. In fact, I'm going on a cruise next year to Iceland for the eclipse. I mean,
Oh,
it's
fantastic.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
the August one?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
In fact, the cruise line I'm going with, they actually added a second ship to go
There you go.
because it was so popular. And it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our tour for the 2026, like, we're going to stay in the Mediterranean. I'm not going on those, but we have our team members are, some of our team members are. We initially had one ship, they had to add a second ship.
Mhm.
And there's a ground-based tour as well. And all of this, and they're all full.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy.
we're
Yeah.
filling up. Yeah.
I booked this the day it went out and it was sold out the next week.
Wow.
It was crazy. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's and the 2027 eclipse too is going to be another big one as well that they're already talking about. So
That's huge
yeah,
already. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So you mentioned citizen science.
yes.
How do you incorporate that into the magazine's coverage?
I personally, okay, first of all, we have submissions from authors, from scientists, and other authors who are involved in citizen science projects, and they will submit a pitch, and we ex if we accept it, then we feature that article
Okay.
in an issue. But I personally have a very specific interest in that, in the sense that I started the under my predecessor, we started the Pro-Am conjunction column because of my background in research astronomy
Okay.
and the fact that I'm very involved in the amateur community. And I really admire the skill and dedication of the amateur community and their knowledge and how they can support the professional community. As you know, when you're a professional astronomer, you have to get observing time on one of these mountaintop telescopes or satellites or whatever. It's incredibly competitive. There's no guarantee that your proposal will garner time. When you do get observing time, you might only have a couple of hours or a couple of nights. They might be clouded out. If you're looking at a variable target, you are only getting a snapshot. And so what the amateur community is doing, they're providing the long baseline, along with the AVSO, of course.
Hmm.
They are heavily invested in this. But so the amateur community, they're providing the baseline in which, the professionals get these snapshots from their mountaintop telescopes. And I've not run a proam conjunction column for a while now, just because I've been settling into this new role, but it's something I very much want to bring up. And
Okay.
I've not only covered amateurs who have collaborated with research astronomers, but I've also covered a more general citizen science project from time
Okay.
to time. And I think it's extremely valuable because these are people who are passionate and dedicated, and they, I find, this is from my interaction
Hmm.
with them, they they learn a lot. They get a lot of satisfaction from working with the professionals. The professionals are indebted to the citizen science community for spending all these hours, countless hours, trawling through images or spectra. And I think it's a wonderful melding of the two worlds. I mean, after all, astronomers weren't considered professional until what, about 100 and something years ago? They were all amateurs before that.
Hmm.
Uh, or whenever that sort of
Hmm.
turnover. I think it was late 1800s, I believe. And and I think it's wonderful to see again a meshing of the two worlds and a sort of blurring of the lines, because these citizen scientists and the amateurs who provide data to research groups are so dedicated, skilled, and do such hard work.
Okay. Right now, the online content is becoming more and more with magazines, with our group, like this podcast. How is Sky Telescope adapting to further that?
We would love to do more
Hmm.
online material. We're a little bit short on staff at the moment to fully dedicate time to explore these new avenues,
Okay.
but we do have a monthly podcast
Hmm.
that we post on our website at the start of each month that
Yep.
former senior editor Kelly Beatty
Hmm.
prepares every month.
I'd listen to that.
And recently, we've also incorporated imagery to the podcast, so it's not just audio, and there's also supporting imagery like star charts and nice astrophotography from time to time. So that we continue to do, and it's something we'd like to with the American Astronomical Society. We'd like to explore more ways of featuring more online content, and that is to come at some point.
Yeah, it's an effort. I've got this podcast started in 2017, and it was all audio until 2 episodes ago.
Oh, really?
So this is new. You're only the second guest on
Oh
video.
my
So
goodness.
yeah, so this has been a learning curve for me because I do this all myself. So
Yes,
it's a big jump to go from just audio to video. I mean, I got to
yes.
shower every day and things like
Yeah,
that.
right.
But it's a whole different game. So far, it's gone well. And actually,
Oh,
my
excellent.
my viewership has gone up too, so I'm very happy about that.
That's what we noticed. Once we started adding imagery to the podcast, the numbers jumped.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So let's talk about yourself. You said you got a sky telescope from your father. What
yeah.
what is that? What got you interested in astronomy?
Very much so. The fact that my father was an astronomy buff himself, He assembled his first telescope when he was like 12.
Oh my.
And we always had astronomy books lying around and old issues of Sky and Telescope as I was growing up. And I just naturally gravitated towards them. Like I said about the leafing through an issue of Sky and Telescope before I could read, I did the same with my father's coffee table books or textbooks. He had some textbooks.
Okay.
And because of his interest, whenever we'd step outside, he'd show me something in the sky. So I was very lucky. I had a very close family member who instilled that passion in me. I realized that not everybody has, not many people have that. So I'm extremely grateful to my father. And I'd always, as I mentioned, enjoyed math, physics,
Hmm.
nature, the natural world. I'm not very good with biology because I'm not very good with squishy things. So I
Okay.
like hard sciences better.
Okay. Do you have a favorite celestial object?
Ooh, that's so hard because there are so many. Maybe I could say I have a favorite type of celestial. I love open clusters
Oh, really?
because they're like little boxes of diamonds and
Ah, there you go. Okay, now we're
yeah, I
getting
like glittery stuff. I like
it.
sparkly stuff. I love open clusters. I love open clusters. I love it's very, very hard because every celestial object has something. The moon. Start with the moon. I cannot look at the moon enough. I
Hmm.
just cannot look at I'll stop the car when I'm driving
Hmm.
if I have a beautiful view of the moon. And just to look at, just to gaze at. I love pointing a telescope at the moon and especially showing people who have never looked at the moon through a telescope. Love doing that. I love, starting from the moon, I love the moon. And of course, okay, I probably the one instant that really cemented my love for astronomy was I wish I had a more exciting story, but it has to be this. It was we were living in Brazil and we went out to this ranch that was outside of Brasilia. So, of course, the skies were inky black.
Hmm.
And one day somebody brought out a telescope, pointed it at an object, and asked me, several people looked through it and they went, ooh, ah, looked through the eyepiece. It was my turn to look through the eyepiece and I saw nothing. And I was really, really worried that I was doing something wrong. And so I didn't
Hmm.
say anything. And then
Hmm.
okay, no, I've got to say something. I said, I don't know what we're looking at because all I see is black. And so the gentleman looked through the eyepiece and said, "Oh yes, of course. It was just a push go
Okay.
to a push scope." So he said, "Well, the Earth has turned a bit. Object is out of the field of view. So let me just nudge it back." So he nudged it back. I looked through, and there was Saturn.
There you go. That's the one.
That's the one. Like I said, I wish I had something more exciting, but it's always Saturn. And I still recall, I must have been about 9 years old. I still recall it looked 3D. And it was that thing I was looking at with my own eyes that I had leafed through all of my dad's coffee table books and Sky and Telescope, and it was there, and I was looking at it for myself. I kid you not, I fell over backwards off
Mm,
the little step stool. And I was just, that was it. That
yeah.
was, that did it for me.
Well, I'd say 99 out of 100 people I talk to, that's the one thing that gets
Isn't
them.
it?
Yeah, it's really, but it's very, very true. I mean, I've done many star parties. I'll put Saturn in, and they'll look at
Yeah,
the other end of the telescope, see if there's a little model in there or something. But
right.
no,
Exactly.
yeah.
We
Okay.
have to thank Saturn.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's
Yes,
inspired many, many, many young astronomers.
absolutely.
So, Sky Telescope has inspired generations. Inspired me when I got into astronomy. How do you hope the magazine's legacy? How will it be for the next generation? What will it
I
be?
really hope we continue with this, even if I say so myself, inspiring mix of subjects from in-depth, cutting-edge science
Hmm.
through to challenging and not so challenging observing articles and the coverage of these extremely skilled astrophotographers and what they do and um, and also coverage of all the equipment that enables our hobby.
Hmm.
Without the telescopes, without the eyepieces, without the mounts and so on, we can't do what we do and love. And so I really hope that this mixture can go forward as is in some form or the other.
Okay. What's something that you think readers would be surprised to learn about that's behind the scenes, other than the deciding the cover?
Maybe possibly that we are a very, very small team and we all work super hard to produce the issue every month. Like whenever I tell people whenever I answer the question, how many are you on staff, the number always surprises everybody. I think it's 5 editors plus myself. And
Wow.
and when we talk with former staff members, of course the magazine was a lot thicker once upon a
Yes.
time, but they had it a little bit there. The load was a little bit lighter from what I understand, but I was not around, so maybe I should not speak on their behalf.
Okay.
But we are, I have to count. Hang on. Yeah, 5 editors plus myself, and everybody works like every day,
Hmm.
full days, and we work. I'd also like to add small team, and then of course we have the art department, who
Right.
are also very small and work very hard. And then one of our editors actually is also our web content manager. In a sense, this editor also oversees
Okay.
the website, the content of the website. So that person is in charge of a huge load just there on our website. But maybe one thing I'd like to conclude with this about the small team is that we really are a team. We work very well together, and I find that the support in the team is extremely strong, and it's wonderful to behold.
And most of them have been there a while.
Yes, and some have come back.
Yeah.
We have currently 2 editors who were at Sky and Telescope before and have come back,
Okay.
and one editor who's been there for 25 years, and another 2 who have been there for more than 13 years now, 13, 14 years. So,
I think having a smaller team, my next question probably relates to that, but in this world of AI generated content and social media noise, how does the magazine make sure it's trusted and relevant?
yes, we talk about that. We've been talking about that now for a couple of months. And I think the only thing we can continue doing is producing accurate content and disclaiming the no, maybe that's not quite the right word. Ensuring
Hmm.
that what we do present to our readers, both on the website and in the print issue, is factual, accurate, relevant, and I don't know how this will proceed. I think that, like you said, the smart scopes have evolved so quickly, that the
Right.
hobby has evolved so quickly with the smart scopes. I think we just had a discussion the other day about AI. I mean, the speed at which it's evolving is
It's scary.
frightening
It's
and
scary.
it's scary. So
Yeah.
I don't think we really know our position yet, except for the fact that we continue doing the work that we know how to do
Yeah.
and present our readers with, as I said, factual, accurate, relevant content.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've ever seen from Scan Telescope. So
Thank you.
your readers appreciate that. So
Thank you.
if we have young science writers out there or editors that want to contribute to Scan Telescope, what advice would you give them?
Oh, please. Every time I go to star parties, I tell everybody the same thing. Uh, you're not alone in the journey. There's an editor to work with you. I would love to see more pitches from young science writers. We have young science writers.
Hmm.
We have a fair number of young science writers. I'd like to see more young observing content writers. And we have one contributing editor who's on the young side, on the very young side. I'd like to see more.
Okay.
And and in the on the hobby side, let's say, fully in the on the hobby side, I'd like to see more young contributors. And the advice I would give is don't be afraid. Make a pitch. We have instructions at the bottom of our web page, homepage, on how to submit a pitch to us. Submit a pitch and know that you're not alone. There's going to be an editor. You don't have to have everything resolved. You don't have to
Hmm.
know about the artwork. You don't have to think of a title. You don't have to think of figure captions. We're there to walk you through that process. That's what editors do. The manuscript does not have to be perfect. That's what editors do.
Hmm.
But come up with a story, find something that you're passionate about, and it's something that you want to share with other people. That's the whole point of having these articles. Observers sit in their backyards or go to star parties and explore a constellation and pluck out all the fun objects in a constellation. How fun is that? And wouldn't it be lovely for other people to be able to do the same thing? So if you have something that you'd love to share with others because you've discovered how to make a path through, I don't know, Cygnus, of going through all the fun, interesting objects. Share it with others and make it into a story, and we'll help you on the road to the finished product.
That sounds fantastic. Diana, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, I just want to say it's been fantastic talking with you.
Yeah, you too.
I love what your organization does.
Thank you.
And if I may make a little call here, if you have a project that you would like featured in the Pro-Am conjunction column, if you're working with professionals, get in touch with me. I'd love to feature you
Well,
and your story in my column.
we have members that definitely do that. Yes.
I know, and I've been trying to reach out. I might not have found the right channel, so please
Okay.
contact me.
All right. We will do that. All right, then I want to thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you so much and have a lovely day.
You too.
Thanks.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Observer's Notebook podcast. I again want to thank Sky and Telescope Editor-in-Chief Diana Hannikainen for coming on the podcast this week. We really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Please give the podcast a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. We upload new episodes every few weeks, and you can subscribe to us on iTunes and the ALPO YouTube channel. You can help support the podcast by donating to it via Patreon. You can start by giving you can start by giving $35 a month, where you receive 1 year's membership to the ALPO and producer credits on the podcast. With that, I'd like to thank the producer of this podcast, Steve Siedentop, and Michael Moyer for their generous support of the Observer's Notebook. The link for Patreon, as well as the link for the ALPO, is in the show notes. You can contact me by going to commentman@commentman.net. Until next time, my hope is you always have clear and steady skies. Thanks for listening.